All right, well, let's start off with the disclaimers. Anything you see in this drilling demo is not to be used against me. If you break a tank, that's your fault. If I break this tank, it's my fault. So this is not tempered glass. So this drilling demo is not to somehow drill tempered glass. You cannot drill tempered glass. Okay. Any glass tanks that have tempered glass and are drilled, that was drilled before they were tempered. So I use antifreeze as my lubricant. You need to have a liquid to cool the drill bit. Some people use like a constant stream of water, things of that nature, but I started out using antifreeze and have never gone wrong with antifreeze. So that's what I stick with. So there are many different variations and ways of actually drilling a tank, but I've chosen this one. So this is what I'm demoing here. I do put in a good amount, like probably ends up being a 1/4 inch after you take into account the displacement of the stage of the drill guide, which I'll show you in a second here. I'm actually drilling with an overflow already installed, so I'm not worried about that piece of glass, the hole, actually falling through and hitting the opposite pane of glass and breaking it, because the actual overflow will catch that piece. This is my contraption. It's an El Cheapo drill, corded drill. I have actually, the first tank I ever drilled was with a cordless drill, and I ended up actually switching out the batteries like twice. It's really taxing on a drill, so it's really good for a corded drill. I am drilling I believe it's a 60 millimeter hole, which will drill a hole that will account for a 1.5 inch bulkhead. This drill guide is made by Wolfcraft. So anyone that wants to get this drill guide I know you can get them at Menards in Minnesota. I am from Minnesota. Keep been able to tell from my accent. For this particular drill guide, you want to make sure that the drill guide is moving nice and smoothly before you actually start drilling. I've actually glued my own rubber feet onto it. It came with rubber feet that fell off right away. So, yeah, because you're pushing. You're not pushing a lot, but you are putting some pressure, some weight. Not a lot, but you are putting some weight on there. And this is just another precaution to take. So, some people do drill tanks freehand. I have not done that. This is practically freehand, but it just gives me a little more. Maybe this is my pacifier. I don't know. Now, right about now, you're saying just get on with it. Okay. So, I've already marked out where I want to drill. When I start drilling, I do put a little bit of pressure to one side so that that'll keep that bit from walking before it actually finds a spot to start drilling. So it'll actually start to drill on one edge. Since this is a hole saw, it'll actually grab on one side, and then you can kind of slowly move it back to perfectly straight, up and down, perfectly perpendicular, and then then you're just flying. This should take around 5 minutes. I'll probably edit this video to take 5 minutes of you sitting there staring at your computer out of this. So you'll probably hear a very high-pitched whine, which is also you'll be able to figure out how fast you're going. And after you've drilled a couple tanks, you basically get a feel for the sound and the friction and the vibration you're getting in the drill. Again, I'm not putting a lot of pressure. A lot of people talk about the weight of the drill. Just let the weight of the drill do the work for you. But since I'm actually pushing against springs here, I can't really let the drill do the drill weight do the cutting. So and with this thicker glass, it can take some abuse. It really can. You can push pretty hard. I've Convicted and I have drilled tanks under 5 minutes which is pretty crazy with this thickness of glass. So you actually have to be a little bit more careful with the 1/4 inch glass. So here we go. One last look, because once you start drilling, you don't really want to stop because you can miss your place, because again, you're taking out a core of glass. Shut up and do it, Superman, right? Okay. And I better clean up this antifreeze that's leaking a little bit. Oh, my wife will kill me. It's actually jumping right up over this lid. And I just went against one of my rules, is to not stop once you start it, because now I actually have to find that hole again. And as you can see, the antifreeze is turns kind of a yellow. Well, the green antifreeze kind of turns yellow with all the air bubbles you're putting into it and all the glass shavings. Oh, that's going to be perfect. Okay. There we go. Sometimes it's a lot harder to find the hole. Actually, once you fall out. All right. are saying right now, oh my gosh, look at all that antifreeze. I've drilled a lot of tanks, and I'm no chemist, but, and when I say a lot of tanks, I mean a lot of holes, probably up over 100 now at this point. And I've never had any issues. Just hose it out, real good, soak it up, just keep hosing it out. Antifreeze dilutes with water, so it's not like you're just trying to get oil out of your tank. If there's a lot of other questions, you can post them on the board. I'm not an expert, but I thought that, well, I've never seen a video online of anyone doing a drilling demo, so why not do one for you? I should say, if you know, a lot of times, well, usually I have my buddy here, Convicted, to also watch, or we switch off drilling. Someone can usually sit and watch underneath and tell you when you're starting to drip, because then you let up on any pressure you're putting and just let the weight of the drill bit do the work. Otherwise, I mean, you can see just a little bit of glass burrs came from the underside because it kind of pops through. If you're really pushing, and I mean, you can get away with a good amount of pressure on this thicker glass. So if you're really pushing hard, you don't know how close you are to the end. You can actually end up taking out big chunks of glass on the inside of your tank, and you can do it to a point as long as your gasket can kind of make up that space, because the bulkhead lip will cover up a lot of the smaller burrs. But if you can take a big chunk out of it, you got some major issues then. So that's why it also helps usually to have a partner to say, hey, you're starting to drip, because usually at least one of your edges of the whole saw bit will start to push through just before the rest. And so you know those first little drips, someone says, hey, stop, stop, and just slow down at least, and then you aren't pushing through to break anything. So I'm actually gonna drill about 3 other holes on this, but I thought I would at least take a video of this first one for anyone that's interested. Thank you, and that's Superman's glass drilling demo.